Alright, hello everybody, and welcome to another video of Green Square Talks Battlebots. Pory and I are here for another prediction podcast, this time over Battlebots Champion bracket number 2. So, how's it going, Pory?
I'm really looking forward to this bracket for sure. This is probably the most stacked bracket in my opinion out of all of them so far. I mean, there's still one we haven't seen yet. That one might be stacked, but it should be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, same here. Definitely a lot of big names on this one, so I bet a lot of good fights are coming. And yeah, so comment down below what your predictions are for this bracket. You're going to hear our predictions one by one, round by round for this bracket, and we'd love to hear what you all have to say about this one because your opinions are probably different from our opinions. I already know that our brackets look a bit different after this one, but we got some really exciting stuff coming, and I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah, we'll go ahead and start right off the bat, where at the top left, where we got Double Jeopardy and Ribot. And I gotta say, for a robot that's bounty only, like Double Jeopardy, this is a rough draw in my mind. Getting such a big name like Ribot. Like, yeah, like I love Double Jeopardy, but I think this is gonna be a difficult one for them to win. But I'm not gonna count out Double Jeopardy, because I do predict that, like, well, before I say this, I bet Ribot goes with the vertical spinner for this one, tries to win the ground game, but I also could see them maybe go with the undercutter to try to outmaneuver Double Jeopardy and try to get to the sides of Double Jeopardy, avoid the front, and even avoid the cannon. But yeah, I feel Double Jeopardy does have the better ground game and the better push power, because apparently Double Jeopardy does have the best drivetrain and all BattleBots from what I hear, and like, but still, I think this is a really rough draw for Double Jeopardy. I think Ribot's probably gonna take this one. Like, I think this could be the first time we see Double Jeopardy get flipped, in my opinion, especially if Ribot does go with the vertical spinner for this one, and I think Ribot's probably gonna take this one by a knockout. Not sure how long of a fight it would be, because I could see Double Jeopardy last a bit of the fight, but with David Jin's driving style, I think Ribot would probably have this one in my eyes. What do you got, Pory?
Uh, I mean, I obviously got Robot. I'll back Robot forever, but yeah, I'm kind of thinking they're going to use the horizontal spinner because it makes them more agile and makes them able to move around a little better, and uh, it'll just be fun to see them like cut into Double Jeopardy. I mean, admittedly, this would be the one time where I would pop off for a robot loss because Double Jeopardy winning would be really freaking hype. But I don't really see it happening unless somehow Double Jeopardy lands a shot on Robot and it KOs it. Which I mean can be said for any Double Jeopardy fight. Period. Like if it shoots the robot and knocks it out, then it has a very good shot. But yeah, I'm thinking of Robot KO probably.
We have seen Double Jeopardy take out opposing robots' weapons with that
Mm,
cannon, because I know they did a Gamma 9 and the Gamma 9 Four Horsemen and Double Jeopardy Rumble,
oh,
and
I,
I know
uh,
there are several more examples of that too.
yeah, 4 out of 5 of Double Jeopardy's fights, its shot resulted in taking out the weapon of its opponents, and the other one, it missed.
Yeah.
Like every shot it's actually landed, it's damaged the weapon significantly with Lucky, Mecha Rampage, Gamma 9, and Daisy Cutter.
Yeah. But anyway, it sounds like we're in agreement that we think Ribot would take this one, but would love to see
Yeah.
Double Jeopardy take this one. But this is just a really rough draw for Double Jeopardy in my mind. But should be interesting either way. So down below we have Slammo and one of my favorites, Malice. So this one is one I'm not confident with actually, because I think it depends on which version of Malice do we see in this one. Do we see the Malice that was not very reliable, weapon-wise at least? Because its drivetrain worked great in all 4 of their fights thus far,
Mm-hmm.
but the weapon did not work so well in the Tantrum or Scorpio's fight, because we saw it die very early due to a speed controller problem. but then it did pretty well in the jackpot fight, and then it did great in the blacksmith fight. I think it depends on how well Malice's reliability comes down as to whether Malice wins this fight against Slammo. Because I think if Malice loses the weapon pretty early, we could definitely see some suplexes from Slammo and them control the brunt of this fight, depending on how well their drive is working too. Because, yeah, their drive got messed up pretty badly against Hypershock, and that it didn't fare the greatest against Switchback. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think I'm probably gonna predict Malice for this one. I'm gonna go for one of my favorites, but this is the but I'm nervous about this one. Like I'm literally like 55-45 on this one because I think Slamo definitely has the potential to win this one. So, what do you got, Pory?
Pretty much in agreement with you. I think Malice probably wins this, but I'm not counting out Slammo because I mean Malice did have some reliability issues. Plus, Slammo does have a very good anti-horizontal configuration for it. Like that wedge is pretty beefy and could definitely give Malice some trouble. But I think also Slammo hasn't really been reliable this season either. I mean, both of its fights, it was KO'd moderately fast. I mean, considering they only got 2 fights, they could have spent that time fixing all those issues. And believe me, I want to see the Danbys. I want to see them thrive for sure. But I'm gonna probably go Malice on this one.
Oh yeah, definitely. So, I bet we'll see a pretty solid fight out of these two. Let's go to what is the first bounty fight that I've heard of. Well, the first confirmed to be bounty fight that I've heard of. Deep Six and Huge. So, ooh, we got a good one here. So we got Deep Six with that massive vertical spinner, Huge with massive vertical spinner and two massive wheels right there. So this one, I probably had the hardest time thinking of who I'm going to go with for this one. Because I think this is going to come down to who can win the first hit between these two robots. Because reach advantage, I think Deep Six has that in the bag for this one, including the fact that Deep Six can hit almost certainly can hit the body of Huge the same way Uppercut and Switchback could, which could give Deep Six a huge advantage in this one. But no pun intended with that. But then on the other hand, if Jonathan Schultz can come at Deep Six from an angle, they might be able to clip the weapon area on Deep Six and like disable it completely. And so what I'm kind of going with for this one, I think I'm probably gonna lean towards Deep Six because I kind of like them in this one. I think the situation with Deep Six that I was talking about is probably a little more likely to occur, but I don't want to count out Huge in this one because I think Huge could definitely pull this one off without a doubt. And I don't think this fight's gonna last very long either, because on one hand we got Deep Six in the arena right there, and a Deep Six fight is unlikely to last long. So, Pori, I'll let you talk about this one.
So Deep Six is neat, so it's gonna win. Like you said, if Huge drives it right, it could like clip a wheel or something. But I think the fact that Deep Six definitely has the reach advantage helps it a lot. And I think, and Huge showed in the uppercut fight that even with like the add-ons to its like underneath its chassis that like were supposed to make it withstand hits, it still died moderately fast to uppercut, and Deep Six has better reach in uppercut as well. I I definitely gotta go with Deep Six. I'm admittedly a little biased because I love Deep Six, but it'll be a fun fight. I mean, this is definitely a fight they wanted to happen,
Yeah,
for the bigness.
yeah, I'm kind of expecting a short and sweet showdown between these two robots, but I bet it's gonna be a really exciting one. So I'm looking forward to it. Let's get to the last one right over there, Pain Train and Shatter. And so I know Pori's looking forward to this, so I'll just let Pori go first on this one.
And that Pain Train sweep. Pain Train's gonna beat the shit out of Shatter. I love Shatter. Shatter's a great robot. They're the premier hammer bot, but Pain Train, they're taking Shatter out. It's gonna be beautiful, and I'm ready for it. And then I'll get to rub it in everyone's face that Pain Train is neat, and I believe in Pain Train. But I mean, I wouldn't say no to a Shatter win, but yeah, you gotta back one of your favorites for sure.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the opposite end. I like Shatter for this one because while I do think Pain Train definitely has the potential to win this, like, don't get me wrong about that. I don't like. I'm nervous about this one. I'm not confident in this prediction because Pain Train showed in the Yeti fight, right, with how the start of that fight went, that Pain Train has the potential to do some vicious damage right here, and if Evan's on his A game right here and continues to put the pressure on Shatter, they could definitely win this fight and tear Shatter apart in this one. But the main reason why I'm going Shatter is Pain Train, the big weakness is Pain Train has had, like this season and somewhat last season as well. Pain Train seems to be really delicate, and I'm not sure how well Pain Train will be able to withstand a shot or two from Shatter's hammer. Because if Shatter lands a blow with that hammer, I bet they're gonna go right through that top armor right there, and like if Pain Train, if like I seriously bet if Shatter gets a couple of shots in with that hammer, I bet it's all over for Pain Train. But if Pain Train is on their A game and manages to get the first few hits and like flips Shatter over, like the same way Riptide did when they fought Shatter last season, I could definitely see Pain Train pull it off. So yeah, so I think this is going to come down to, can Pain Train just avoid that hammer similar to what Riptide did, or can Shatter land the hits they need in this one? So yeah, so anything else to say, Pory, before we get to round two? Round two it is. Okay, so round two, where 3 out of 4 predictions, like the last prediction podcast, we agreed on. But yeah, so we'll go to the left side where we got battle between one of Pory's favorites and one of my favorites. Another Team Pory. I'll just go with that team rather than going with Pory's large team name and King of Draft versus a
Yeah,
Team Green Square robot. So Ribot and Malice. So yeah, I feel this is probably one Ribot would go with the vertical spinner for, and if they do have a plow configuration, which
I think
I
they
know
do.
Pory and I are pretty certain they do, but not 100% certain because we haven't seen Ribot fight a horizontal spinner since Valkyrie back in their rookie season. And Malice, I don't know what to expect as for which weapon they would go with for this one, but maybe the blackout spinner, or that, because I know that seems to be what they use for most wedges, with exception to like the blacksmith fight where they use the rolling drumstick. So yeah, so I I'm kind of betraying one of my favorite robots here because I do think Ribot would probably take this one. But on the
Same.
other hand, if they fought next season, though, I think Ribot would lose to Malice, though, with those
Come on,
wedgelets,
man.
with those
Come
wedgelets
on.
and the bulkier speed controllers that John Mladnick's sending them. It'll be a team effort. Gigabyte and Malice are gonna take out Ribot right there and use
No
only
shot.
Malice to decide. Basically, Malice will come in with those new forks,
Mm-mm.
and Ribot will be hopping like a frog for real every time Malice gets underneath, scoops Ribot up, and just hits him
Yeah,
time after time again. Ribot might win this time and during the 2021 season era, but the 2022 season era, Malice is gonna kick the crap out of Ribot. So
shot. Remote would always win. For your information, give Remote Malice and Gigabyte at the same time. Remote will whoop them both. Double KO in under a minute. Easy. Robot's going all the way, and much like next season when they beat Malice and rip off those forks, uh, they're gonna beat Malice this time as well. Because I'm pretty sure they have a pretty beefy like anti-horizontal wedge. It's just they haven't fought a horizontal in 3 years, so uh, or 2 years, 3 years, whatever. Um, So I think it just comes down to the fact that Ribot's probably gonna. But I wouldn't like be disappointed if they lost. Like, anything to be ashamed of.
Yeah, I think if I remember right, Civilian Arc is predicting Malice over Ribot. And
Well, the civilian arc, he's a special guy.
yeah, I do think Ribot would probably take this one. That's my prediction here. But if this was next season, Malice hands down, easily.
No,
Easily.
I don't want to hear that.
We're gonna
Come
pop
on,
those
man.
four wheels off. Then
Yo,
we're gonna climb on the back of Ribot, destroy that Self Rider. We're gonna
yo, okay.
rip off the wedgelets or the plow, whichever Ribot comes with. The vertical spinners could be flying off. That frog head's gonna be
You
in 10
okay?
pieces, and
Yeah, you're gonna be climbing on Ribot because Ribot's gonna rip off those forks out in like 20 seconds, and then Malice is gonna have no ground game because it's gonna have no choice but to go on top of Ribot.
I mean Ribot won't either, because Mouse will rip off those forks just as easily.
Yeah,
So
but if Malice and Ribot fought, Ribot would probably still use the anti-horizontal.
yeah, so they wouldn't use wedges, so then the plow would get ripped off instead.
No shy. I don't want. Oh, come on, man.
You
Ribot,
know.
Ribot's gonna be the champion next season. It's gonna
Yeah.
happen. Ribot champion, deadlift finalist, Shred It Bro semifinalist. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, so comment down below if Malice and Ribot fought next season, whom you think would win that one. And I think Ribot will just be hopping like a frog before they die in a lithium battery fire. But
Because when they send Malice out of the arena with one hit, they're just gonna be a little bit of bounce back.
Malice will bounce right back into the arena. Is what you're saying? They'll hop
No, no,
back.
Ribot's gonna bounce back.
Malice will hop back into the arena like the bunny they are. So yep.
Oh, no shot.
And then
Reynolds,
they'll go to kicking the crap out of Ribot. So
no shot.
just like how
Ribot sweeps.
okay, so enough of that fun time since we do know Malice would win that. So
No, no shot.
at least next season. Like this season, I do think Ribot would probably take that. But okay, so I have Deep Six and Shatter in there, and this is another one I'm not very confident with because I feel if Deep Six lands a hit, they're probably gonna flip Shatter over in the process. And if they keep going in for hits after hit, I don't think Shatter's drive is gonna last in that one. But on the other hand, I don't think Deep Six is. I think Deep Six is probably even worsely armored than Pain Train. Well, I don't know for sure because we haven't seen Deep Six fight a hammer yet. But I think Deep Six is another robot, but I don't think it lasts long if they took many hits from a hammer like Pain Train. So
So
I think this is gonna be another one that's probably gonna end in a quick KO either way, and I'm leaning towards Shatter with this one, but I could see Deep Six claiming that final spot with Ribot if Ribot did beat Malice. But go ahead, Pory, with your Deep Six Pain Train rematch.
6 is gonna ride Pain Train again, and this could go either way. I'll be happy with either of them making the final because they're two of my favorite robots. But we're gonna go Pain Train on this. I mean, they almost beat Yeti after they whooped Shatter. They have a good shot against Deep Six. They just gotta drive it right and avoid that. As long as they avoid that spinner, I think Pain Train's got it. They could have had it the first time, but teething issues first fight. So yeah, I'm going Pain Train all the way.
Fair. So I don't think there's really much more to say here. Is yeah, we interesting Malice Ribot discussion there, and even though I think we both know that Malice would win that pretty easily,
No
so
shot.
let's
Alice will win that.
let's go ahead and go on to the final that we both decided on. Okay, so I have Ribot and Shatter in the final. Pory has Ribot and Pain Train in the finals. So I'll go first with my Ribot Shatter showdown here that I'm predicting, and this is a tough one to predict here because I do think Ribot would probably go with the vertical spinner for this one because similar to like what I mentioned about Deep Six, if Ribot can flip Shatter over like what Riptide was doing and just avoid them from landing hammer shots on there, it's just gonna be Ribot and Beta all over again. in my mind here. But on the other hand here, like I'm wondering if Ribot does have top armor configuration for this season because I know they did not from I know they did not when they fought Beta and they because they were nervous about taking a hammer shot from Beta, and Shatter's a significantly better robot than Beta, better hammer robot in my eyes, and like yeah, so I'm gonna lean towards Shatter because I'm not sure how well armored Ribot is on top, and like if Shatter starts puncturing the top there, they could get to something really important, and that could be the end of Ribot right there. But I definitely would not say no to a Ribot Lockjaw fight coming up because I think Ribot definitely has the potential to take out Shatter with that vertical spinner. Because if David Jin just gets up in Adam Rayleigh's face and just continues to knock Shatter around, prevent them from using that hammer, I think Shatter's gonna be done for in this one. But yeah, I'm gonna lean towards Ribot for this one, and I don't know. Or I'm gonna lean towards Shatter in this one, but I could see Ribot winning this one. And like this is another one where I think it's like 50-50 between these two robots for whom I think would win because both of them definitely have the potential. So, all
Yeah.
right, Ribot and Pain Train, Pory.
Uh, okay, so sad because one of my favorites has to go in this, but sorry, Pain Train. Ribot's gonna whoop your ass. Also, Ribot will whoop Shatters. That's
I'm telling
uh.
Evan.
Look, look. Third place isn't bad. Like, that's I give Pain Train more credit than pretty much any other BattleBots fan. But yeah, I think Ribot uses the vert. It beats Pain Train and probably a few hits. Let's be real, and they advance to the final. And if they fought Shatter, Shatter would be tricky, but I think Ribot would win that too because as Riptide proved, a very agile, aggressive vert is more than enough to take Shatter out, and Ribot definitely delivers in that.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with what you were talking about with Ribot and Pain Train because I do think if those who did fight, like I bet Pain Train would get one or two good hits in because I think Ribot
Yeah,
wedgelets would be gone pretty easily if they did fight Pain Train. Like I think they
yeah.
wouldn't take significant wedgelet damage, but I think as soon as Pain Train starts coming apart, because I think the delicacy of that robot is what's gonna bite it in this if those two did fight, and that's why if Ribot and Pain Train did fight in here, I would probably pick Ribot if that happened, but I don't have Pain Train going there. But I will let Pory laugh at me on the podcast if Pain Train does get that far, and he has the right to do so because I guarantee Civilian Arc probably disagrees with this as well. Actually, I
Well,
think I know he does because I think if I remember right, I think he has Malice and Shatter in the final. Also, if I remember correctly, but
Civ, what's wrong with you?
why? What part? I was saying what part, Pory?
All of it.
Fair.
That said, if Deep Six made the final, I would probably wager Ribot winning that too, just so we're clear.
Yeah, I would probably pick Ribot as well for that one, because I think they'd go with the Undercutter if they did fight Deep Six for that extra maneuverability, because Ribot's not going to want anything to do with that weapon, I feel. And they definitely have the maneuverability to where they could snipe a wheel like what Smee did when they fought Deep Six. So, alright, let's get to the final. Yeah, so where I got Shatter in Lockjaw, Pory has Ribot in Lockjaw, so as for a Shatter and Lockjaw rematch, I kind of predict a very similar outcome to when they fought the first time, but I feel Donald is going to stack up on armor a lot more because, like, I think the biggest mistake that Lockjaw made when they fought Shatter the first time is Donald, I felt, really underestimated the hammer of Shatter because he assumed that the armor that he had on. Well, I don't know about assume, but it seemed like he was assuming the extra armor he put on there was going to be enough to take Shatter, and it was not because Shatter went right through that armor with a couple of hits. And like I feel Lockjaw is probably going to have a better defense for Hammers if they did have a rematch with Shatter, but assuming my bracket's right here, which Shatter I feel definitely has the potential to get there, but still I think I kind of see this fight going about the same way than it did last time, but I definitely could see Lockjaw pulling off the upset here. I think I'm going to predict Shatter for this one. So, Pory, what do you think about Ribot and Lockjaw?
I'm sorry, Lockjaw, but Robot's gonna sweep. Uh, and it pains me because Lockjaw going 0-4 in a season. That's kind of devastating. But they did have a difficult schedule. They're like the only like higher tier bot that they didn't feed when it was down and out. That said, I think Rivat probably comes in, uh, just wins because it's a frog, and then Rivat's going to proceed to go to the Battlebots Champions bracket, and it's going to beat everyone in that bracket. And then it's going to win the Golden Bowl. Then Rivat's going to enter in season 7 of Battlebots, and it's going to go. It's going to go 3-0 in the main bracket. Then
They'll
it's going
get
to
first
win the
rounded
championship.
against Malice.
No shot. It's gonna beat Malice. It's gonna beat everyone. It's gonna beat Malice, Shatter, Tombstone, Bike Force. It's gonna beat everyone.
It's gonna beat World Peace.
Yeah, yeah, Kara. It's gonna beat World Peace. It's gonna beat World Peace. It's gonna beat Bronco. It's gonna beat Viney Norman. It's gonna beat everyone.
Fair, but yeah, I would probably if Ribot and Lockjaw did end up happening, like I would probably go Ribot as well for this one because like I feel both of them do have the potential. I'm not sure who would win a weapon on weapon exchange between the two robots, but Ribot seems to be the more durable and the more reliable robot, which is kind of why I see Ribot winning that if those two did dish it out. I don't think it would be one sided like Pory seems to think, but I think Lockjaw would be able to get a few hits in because Lockjaw does have really good ground game, and maybe we'll see the mini bot once again, and maybe we'll see them high center Ribot. But yeah, it was really unfortunate seeing to potentially see Lockjaw go 0-4 here, but like gotta give Lockjaw credit though, because like they did have what was in my opinion the hardest schedule
They
of
did.
any
They did them
robot
the
here.
hardest.
Because yeah, Copperhead, Hypershock, Blip, all three
7-0
robots that made
record.
top 10 seeds. And
7-0. 7-0 record for
or
its opponents.
Hypershock was
Like
not a top 10 seed, but they were all
it should have been.
undefeated. Yeah.
But here's the thing: the Lockjaw's biggest Achilles heel is the fact that it's unreliable and it like starts smoking, 45 seconds into the match. If Lockjaw was legitimately reliable, it would probably it would have a very good shot at beating Ribot. But I haven't been. I'm not sold on it being reliable yet because it's a coin flip pretty much. Like last season, even it had issues, but then the bounty came along and it swept the bounty. So it could go either way, really. But I gotta back Ribot always.
Yeah, if Donald can get the gear ratio right, which seemed to be the issue they had last season that they fixed for bounty hunters and why Lockjaw looked so great in
Mhm.
bounties that season, Lockjaw could definitely give like any of these robots that make it there a serious run for their money and potentially win that fight. So yeah, I bet we'll see an exciting bounty final there, no matter who gets there. And yeah, the winner of this is it's gonna really deserve it because this is a stacked bracket right here, and definitely gonna be a difficult one to call. So anything else on this bracket, Pori?
Everything you need to say.
That's fair. So, yeah, thanks for watching this prediction podcast. Be sure to hit like and subscribe button as usual. Comment down below what your predictions are. I should probably put together the final page. But, okay, so yeah, thanks for watching this as usual, and yeah, comment down below your predictions. As I said already, we would love to hear what you all got, since I bet your brackets probably look different from what Pory and I have right up here. So Thanks for checking this out, and I'll hopefully see you next time.